মাদকে হাত দিলাম, ছেয়ে গেছে পোড়া কুষ্টিয়া। 27 জন আমি লিস্ট করে একেবারে নির্ভরযোগ্য পুলিশের কাছে, প্রশাসনের কাছে দিলাম। প্রশাসন পর্যন্ত শুনলাম যে এর সাথে জড়িত। এত কষ্ট করে এগুলো জোগাড় করে দিলাম, যেখানে দেব তারা এখান থেকে কমিশন।
When a lawmaker, someone who's supposed to uphold the law, just comes out and says he's totally powerless to stop crime in his own area. I mean, that's not some hypothetical question, right? It actually happened, and it's the jumping off point for our whole explainer today.
And that's a direct quote, a really stunning admission from a sitting MP, Amir Hamza. See, he tried to go after the drug problem in his district, but what he found, well, he found the system itself was working against him from the inside, and that's the central mystery we're going to try and unravel today.
You know, the thing is, this isn't just about one guy's story. It's not just about one MP who couldn't get the job done. This whole thing, it's a symptom. It's like a crack on the surface that shows you there's something much, much bigger and deeper wrong with the whole system.
So, let's just break down exactly what went down here.
বিভিন্ন পুলিশ এসে বলছে, স্যার এই জায়গায় আসতে আমাদের কমপক্ষে 20 থেকে 25-30 লাখ 50 লাখ টাকা খরচ করে এখানে আসা লাগে। তে আমরা তো এই হয়তো 1 বছর 2 বছর 1.5 বছর থাকবো, সেখানে তো অন্তত এই 25-30 লাখ টাকা শুধু বেতনে দিয়ে তোলা সম্ভব না। এই জন্য আমাদের বিভিন্ন জায়গায় থাকা লাগে। আপনি যদি এখন এখানে হাত মেরে এটা বন্ধ করে দেন, তাহলে ওদেরও ক্ষতি, আমাদেরও ক্ষতি, আপনার তো কিছু হবে না। কারণ আপনি তো 4 আনা পয়সা কোনো জায়গা থেকে নেবেন না বলে ঘোষণা দিয়েছেন। 5 বছরে আপনার একটা টাকা বাড়বে না, তো আপনি আমাদের ভাতটাও মারবেন। তাহলে আমি এখন কি বলবো ওদের, বলেন তো?
The MP did what you'd think he's supposed to do, right? He put together a list of 27 key people involved in the local drug trade. He takes this list, hands it over to law enforcement, and nothing. Instead of action, he just hits a brick wall. He finds out that the very people he gave the list to, they were getting a commission from the criminals. And get this, they actually told him to back off because his work fighting crime was getting in the way of their illegal income.
So this gets us to the big question, doesn't it? How can a lawmaker be completely powerless? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's part of the government. To figure this out, we have to stop looking at the people involved and start looking at the system itself. And the answer? It's a concept that academics call the political settlement, or as it's known in Bengali, Rajnitiyak Bandobast. Honestly, this idea is the key. It unlocks this whole mystery for us.
Okay, so what on earth is a political settlement?
Well, think of it like this. It's the real deal when it comes to power. It's not about what the law books say, it's about how power is actually divvied up between all the powerful groups in a country. It's this mix of the official, written rules and all the unofficial, unwritten rules that kind of holds everything together, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And this is a great way to see it. It's like there are two sets of rules playing out at the same time. You've got the formal rules, you know, the Constitution, the laws, the stuff that's written down. But then you've got the informal rules. We're talking about patronage, bribes, shady backroom deals. And in a lot of places, it's those unwritten, informal rules that really call the shots. So in the case of Bangladesh, the main informal system, the rules of the game, is built on something called clientelism. You could say it's the engine that makes this whole informal system run.
Clientelism, it's basically a deal, a transaction. You have a powerful person, the patron, who gives things like protection or jobs or money to someone with less power, the client. And what does the patron get back? Loyalty, votes. And sometimes, you know, they get the muscle to make sure things go their way. It's a system for handing out goodies and staying in power that has nothing to do with the official way things are supposed to work.
So you can actually picture this whole thing as a pyramid. Right at the top, you've got the big boss, the patron, a minister, an MP. They're the ones offering protection from way up high. Then, under them, you've got the local brokers. They're the middlemen, making sure the patron's wishes are carried out on the ground. And down at the bottom, you've got the enforcers, the muscle, the guys who show up at rallies or, you know, intimidate people. And why do they do it? Well, they get paid. Not just in cash maybe, but with real perks, a place to live, free food, and this is the important part, a cut of the profits from illegal stuff. And hey, this kind of system, it's not new, not at all. It's got really deep roots. You can trace it all the way back to the British era when they created a loyal class of landlords. Then, during the Pakistan era, Ayub Khan did something similar to build his own base of support. And after Bangladesh's independence, well, the same basic playbook was just picked up and used again, using political power to build these loyalty networks.
All right, so that's the theory. Now let's bring it all back home.
Let's connect this whole idea of clientelism right back to our MP, Amir Hamza, the drug trade, and those corrupt police. This is where you'll see it all just click. So, according to the MP, check this out. A police officer might have to pay a bribe just to get a good job posting. And we're not talking small change. We're talking a huge amount of money, something like 25 to 50 lakh taka.
And the reason they gave him for this? It's just jaw-dropping. One of the officers apparently told him, look, it's not possible to earn back that 25-30 lakh taka from a salary alone. That's why we have to be involved in different places. I mean, think about that. They're openly admitting they have to be corrupt just to make back their initial investment in the job.
And that, right there, is the informal system in action. The bribe for the job, that's the price of admission. That's the entry fee to join the patronage network. That officer is now a client of some powerful patron who got him the job. So how does he get his money back? He gets it by taking a cut from illegal stuff, like the drug trade our MP was trying to shut down. The official law says fight crime, but the unwritten rule, the one that really matters, says protect the money. So, okay, this all leads to a really tough question, doesn't it? If the problem is baked this deep into the very structure of the system, what could a real solution possibly look like?
And here's maybe the most important takeaway from all of this. The reason this system is so hard to change is because just swapping out the people at the top, well, it doesn't really change the system. A new political party can win an election, but if all they do is take over the old patronage networks for themselves, then the underlying settlement hasn't changed at all. It's like you've got new actors, but they're reading from the exact same script.
And that leaves us with one last really big question to think about. When the unwritten rules are stronger than the written laws, what does it actually take to bring about real change? If just changing the leaders or the parties isn't the answer, then what is? And that, right there, is the fundamental challenge we're talking about.